This is Maths Numeracy Unit 2 Calculator Allowed Higher Tier. These are the answers to the November 18 paper. So don't forget this is calculator, so use it where you can. Question 1. Tube Cycles makes a large number of bikes each day. On the 1st December 2016, 4,000 bikes were made at the Tube Cycles factory. Tube Cycles factory was working at 8% capacity on that day, so that means that the 4,000 that they made is the 80% capacity. So 80% is the 4,000. Tube Cycle factory was working at 8% capacity. This means that only 8% of the maximum possible bikes were made. When the factory works at 95% capacity, how many bikes were made on that day? So as soon as we get 100%, so go from 80% to 100%, then you can find out 95%. You can do this a quicker way on a calculator, but I'm just going to show you the non-calculator way first. So to go from 80% to 100%, you can either on your calculator divide by 8%, or you can just whittle it down to numbers you can work with. So if I was to divide it by 8, I'd get 10%, and I can do 4,000 divided by 8, that's just 500. Therefore 100% is going to be 10 lots of that, which is 5,000. Then I can find out 95%, or 5% is just going to be half of my 10. So 95% is going to be 4,700. So on your calculator, you could have just done 4,000. You could have divided it by 80% to get 100%, and then times that by 95% to get 95%. So a quick way on calculator. October 2018, manager of Tube Cycles recalls the number of bikes made per day. Here are her results. So this is a grouped frequency table. So estimate the mean number of bikes made per day during October. So because obviously normally on a frequency table, a non-grouped frequency table, I would just times each one of these. But because it's grouped, we can't do that because we've got two different numbers. So first of all, we're going to have to find our midpoint of the two numbers. So between 1,000 and 2,000, so that's 1,500. Then you want to do 2,000 and 3,000, which is 2,500, 3,500, and 4,500. So you're basically estimating that between 1,000 and 2,000, those three people, averagely, they're probably about in the middle. So if we times those, we get 4,500, and if we do 12 times 2,500, we get 30,000, and 9 times 3,500 is 31,500, and 7 times 4,500 is also 31,500. Once we've done that, we can total them up. So add those up and we get 97,500, and now we just need to, obviously it's the mean, so the mean is the total divided by how many there are. It's not 4. A lot of people would just assume because there's 4, we divide by 4. It's obviously divided by the total frequency, which is 31 number of days in October, which is 3145.16, obviously kind of 0.16 of a bike. If you put that though, they would be fine with that, which is 3,145 bikes. Which group contains the median number of bikes? So the median is where we half our total. So we've got our total 31. We half it, which is 15.5. Obviously we can't have the 15.5th bike, so we round that up to 16th bike. So obviously here we've got 1, 2, 3. Then we've got an extra 12, so that's 15. So the 16th bike is going to be in this one. So that's the 3,000 to 4,000. Question 2. Amir has set his lawnmower to work at a constant speed of 200 meters per hour. He walks at a distance of 300 meters when he cuts his lawn. Use this information to calculate how long it takes him. So we've got speed, we've got distance, and we've got time. So we're going to need our speed, distance, time triangle. So speed is distance over time. So DST or SDT. And we are working out time. So on your triangle, you would scribble out your time, and you need the distance. So time is going to be distance over speed. We know our distance is 2,000. No, it's not. Distance is 300. Works a distance of 300, and he takes 2,000 meters per hour. So that's his speed, and we get 0.15 hours. We want that in minutes, or you should know how many minutes are in an hour. You just need to times that by 60. So it is 60 minutes. No, it's not. Jesus, it's 9. 0.15 times 60. What assumptions have you made while he's putting the lawn mower on? That he could stop. You know, he could stop halfway through, because I normally do that to empty the lawnmower because the grass is way too long. We're assuming he's going in a straight line. He's not going up hills or down hills. That would obviously take longer. He doesn't run out of petrol. So I'm just going to put that he doesn't or didn't stop. What impact would this have on the time? Well, you would have more time. More time would be needed. If he stopped, obviously it's going to take longer than 9 minutes, depending on how long he stops for. So he cuts his lawn 25 times a year, and he uses 4.5 litres of petrol in his lawn each year. How much petrol of lawnmower does he use for every 100 metres that he walks? So he does 300 metres every time he cuts his grass, and he does that 25 times a year. So that's 7,500 metres. My pen is like breaking. So if he does 7,500 metres and he uses 4.5 litres, we want to know how many litres it takes him to do 100. So how do I go from 7,500 to 100? I would divide by 75. So I'm also going to divide 4.5 by 75, and I get 0.06 litres. And that's how much he will use. Petrol costs £1.30 per litre. Amir says the petrol of my lawnmower cost me approximately 60 pence per pint. Is he correct? Well, you need to know your pints to litres conversion. So 1 litre is 1 3/4 or 1.75 pints. So just times £1.30. By 1.75. So £1.30 is going to be 0.74. So 74 pence. So no, it's not 60 pence. Question 3. Armit is planning to go to Switzerland. The table below shows the rate of exchange from pounds to Swiss francs. So if he buys them, it's 1 to 1.25. If he sells them, it's 1.28 to £1. The exchange shop, I think we've done this before. So it only has notes of 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 1,000. He has £480. How much can he buy, and how much is it going to cost him? So when we go in our money into a different one, we times by the exchange rate. If we go in their money into ours, we divide. So this is going to find out how much he could have get if they have all types of Swiss francs. So he's capable of buying 595.2. However, they only have 10s, 20s, 50s, so he can only have 590 Swiss francs. So we just need to see how much that is worth. Now he's not selling them, he's just going to see how much it will cost them. So we don't need this bottom exchange rate at all. They've put it in there to confuse you. So you just want to divide now by the same exchange rate, and we get £475.81. So when he goes in and he goes, I want to buy 590 Swiss francs, it'll cost him £475.81. In this part of the question, we assess on quality, organisation, communication, and written accuracy. So these are your OCW questions. So O is for organisation. So you've got to organise your work. Don't have it everywhere. Don't have information all over the place. Keep it nice and structured. C is for communication. So make sure you're telling the examiner what you're doing, where your numbers are coming from. If you've labelled something H, does it stand for height, etc. And your W stands for accuracy in writing. So you've done the correct units, pound signs, pence signs, centimetres, etc. So, Lunid's tent is in the shape of a triangular prism. Cross section of a tent is an isosceles triangle. So those two are the same. So that's also 1.8 meters. She noted a few measurements on the diagram. So we've got different measurements on there. Calculate the volume of the tent. So to calculate the volume of a prism, it's on the front in your formula booklet. It is the area of the cross section, or the area of the face, times your length. So in this case, 2.5. So to work out my area of this face, oh gosh, that doesn't say face. My pen is not connected very well. So the area of the face is a half times our base, which is 0.7 and 0.7, so 1.4, times our height, which is we do not have. Okay. So to work out our height, if I was just to bring this triangle over here, so I've got this triangle. This is 1.8, this is 0.7. I want to work out the height. That's just Pythagoras. So you know obviously 1.8 squared equals 0.7 squared plus h squared. So to work out h squared, you just need to do 1.8 squared take away 0.7 squared. So we do 1.8 squared take away 0.7 squared, which is 2.75. So that's the height squared. So the height of the face is the square root of 2.7 squared, because obviously you've got the height squared. That is 1.67 meters. So I've got my height. I should be okay for the rest now. So the area of the face is a half times the base, so that's obviously 0.7 and 0, another 0.7, so that's 1.4 meters, times the height, which we just worked out was 1.67 meters. So the area of the face is 1.169 meters squared. Therefore the volume, which we told them how to work out earlier, is the area of the face, which I just worked out, 1.169 meters squared, times my length, which is 2.5 meters, which is 2.9225 meters cubed. Just 2.9 or 3 if you want to round to 3. It doesn't tell you what to round to, so round to whatever you want. Which of the following is equal to 0.2 meters cubed? Circle your answer. So they're all in centimeters. You need to know centimeters into meters, but you also will need to know how many centimeters cubed in a meter cubed. You should know that there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Now in cubing that, you just want to cube both of them. So you want to do 100 times 100 times 100, and 1 times 1 times 1. Obviously we know 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 100 times 100 times 100 is just 1 with all the zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 1,000,000. So there's 1,000,000 centimeters cubed in a meter cubed. So you just want to times that by 1,000,000. So you basically want to, as I say, million, but you want to move your decimal 6 times, which gives you 200,000. Question 5. Cycle frames are made from steel, aluminium, or carbon fibre. The table below gives the density of steel, aluminium, and carbon fibre. Owen has a cycle frame made from aluminium. His cycle frame has a mass of 9,450. So they're talking about mass, they're talking about density. You're probably going to be asked to find the volume. Yep, calculate the volume. So this is your next triangle. So you've had speed, distance, time. Now we've got mass, density, and volume. So mass is density times volume. So to find out our volume, we scribble out our volume, and that is mass over density. So you're left with the m over d. So mass was 9,450, and density, well, it's one of these, it's made of aluminium, so it's 2.7. So you just need to divide those, which is 3,500. Bethan has a cycle frame that is identical to Owen's cycle frame. However, his cycle frame is made from carbon fibre. Calculate the mass of this frame. So volumes are going to be the same. Mass, density, volume. We're calculating mass, so mass is density times volume. So hers is made of carbon fibre, so her density is 1.6. So 1.6 times the same volume, which we just worked out here, 3,500. Don't worry if you've got that wrong. Like if you did a different number, as long as you use your number here, you'll get these full 3 marks. So that gives you 5,600.